Yo, what is going on, everybody? Carnage back here again, and today I am back with a brand new video. I did pick up quite a bit of comics, most of which I got from my comic book shop that I, used to go to once a week, but since I've moved a couple hours away, I only go there when I go visit my girlfriend. Uh, and I visited my girlfriend a little earlier last week, so without any further ado, just going to show you the two newest ones I picked up yesterday, and then also two back issues that I found yesterday as well. So the two newest ones I picked up were Wolverine Deep Cut issue number 3. Really liking this series. Issue number 2 did come out a while ago, but let me just say, Chris Claremont definitely doing very well with this series. Really enjoying it. I also really do enjoy Wolverine Revenge. Not going to spoil anything in that one, just because that one legitimately first issue took a serious turn that got me hooked. But Deep Cut is another good one. It's like, I want to say like a prequel before like what happens in like the main Wolverine story, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong though. The issue number 2 did come out a while ago. Anyway, speaking of issue number 2, this is Spider Society issue number 2. First one kind of did like a full like 360 on, or not 360, like full 180 of one of the characters who turned out to be a secret, like a spy. Basically, he led them into a trap. I'm not going to say who it is. Most of you probably already know who it is after reading the first issue. But let me just say, really excited to figure out what happens in this one, just because there was quite a bit of bad guys in it. And then these next two, I heard kind of good things about this series, and it also does have a little bit to do with one of my favorite characters from Marvel Comics, the Maker. So this just kind of, does that a little bit. They had issues 1 through 4. I only decided to pick up issue number 1 and issue number 2, which, by the way, very cool Nick Fury cover. Really do like that. I only picked up those first two issues just because, it's not flying off any shelves anytime soon. So, alright. And then for the stuff that I picked up from my local, or, my comic shop that I usually get a pull list from, the first one I'm going to show is X-Men issue number 4. Let me just say, really liking this Jed MacKay series on X-Men. Really cool series, especially this issue, because it kind of deals with, not going to spoil anything, but, them basically just kind of expanding the X-Men team a little bit, and then, as usual in a comic book, there's a fight, which was pretty interesting and pretty cool. Kind of the same thing for this series as well. Not a fantastic series, but we do learn who these 4 new characters are. One of them's not even a mutant, which kind of interesting. But I will say, they do have a very cool fight sequence in this. Just because, one of the guys goes after Wolverine, and then Wolverine later in the story just kind of decks him in the face, which, truthfully, the funniest thing that's happened in that series in the series so far, in my opinion. And then one of my favorite series by Jed MacKay as well. This is Vengeance of the Moon Knight. Really love this cover too, by the way. Like, this is the Shroud as Moon Knight. And in this issue, Moon Knight has to, kill the Shroud, because that's what Khonshu said for bringing him back to life. I'm not going to spoil any more than that, just because if you guys have been reading Moon Knight, you know that's probably going to switch up a little bit. And then this one's a decent series by John Straczynski. Captain America, really decent series. I do recommend you guys check this one out of all of this, especially, excluding, like the Ultimates, like just in general, like Ultimates, like the new Ultimate Universe is what I mean. But this Captain America series is pretty interesting too. Basically, Captain America is going up against mystical threats now, which I thought was kind of interesting. And then, by far, the most beautiful Thor cover I think I've seen in a while. This is the Immortal Thor, issue number 15. Really interesting thing in this. Thor steals the power of Zeus, and he transforms that power into a belt, which I thought was kind of cool. And I know I'm doing, like, basically spoilers of these issues, but I mean, it's nothing, like, super duper important to the series. Maybe the Thor one, but, you know, just kind of giving a little synopsis. ASM number 57. Again, not a huge fan of Ramita artwork, just because, I mean, what is Tombstone's face? He's just got such a huge nose, man. And he just looks a little blocky, which, I mean, he is a blocky character, but I mean, the artwork just makes him look way too blocky, in my opinion. Anyway, ASM number 57, basically, Lonnie Lincoln, aka Tombstone, goes to jail, tries, you know, killing / kidnapping Robbie Robertson's son. I forget what his son's name is off the top of my head. And then, he's actually trying to kill his daughter, Janice Lincoln. I almost said Janice Jackson. Which, very interesting, just because it ends on a cliffhanger with, Tombstone in her apartment about to, do the thing that involves death. And Superman, issue number 18, still have not read the Absolute Power event, like, at all. I've been reading, what's happening in this series. It's an interesting one. So far, Superman's depowered, and he's basically just trying to, save the day, like he normally does. That's basically what this does. Him and Zatanna basically just go and do their superhero stuff. John Constantine, Hellblazer, Dead in America. Fully honest, this issue basically circles around not even John Constantine, but some guy. I don't remember the character's name, mostly because it's not like a huge, big name character. It's just like some dude from like Alabama, I think, who's trying to be an actor. And basically, like earlier in the series, there was a guy who was just a big movie producer with lots of severe cuts and a missing eye and everything else like that. He does a lot of blood sacrifices, which, let me just say, if you read this series, it's kind of a little messed up. And then in the issue that the producer guy was introduced, it was thought that he died, but, John gave him one of the grains of sand from, the Sandman, and that kept him from dying, and then everything he wanted to happen in real life then happened. It's kind of a weird series. Like, it's kind of hard to describe if you're not reading it. So, but, I mean, it is a good series. I will say that. The only independent book that I've been reading, this is Deadweight's issue number 6. This is the last issue of this series, for now anyway, just because it did kind of leave a little bit of a cliffhanger with one of the characters. But let me just say, Deadweight's pretty nice miniseries. Really enjoyed it. We actually do see... Oh, I forget his name, but this guy right here, I think his name's Jeremy in the book. I don't remember his superhero name. Like, we find out that he's actually a clone of one of the original guy, which was pretty interesting. Not going to spoil any more than that, just because, like, don't get me wrong, it's a fun read, but I don't remember a ton that happens in it. Basically, it's just kind of like happy endings, from what I kind of understood with it. In this issue, this one was kind of a weird one because, for those of you who read Bloodhunt, Doctor Doom is now the Sorcerer Supreme, and the Fantastic Four go to check that out, but Doom put up some magical force field, and somehow it sent them basically... what's the best way to describe that? Basically, it sent them into the past, but that past the past changed because, how do I describe that? Like, it's kind of weird to describe just because basically everything that hits the shield that Doom put up around Latveria basically teleports things to a different, like, somewhere else. And the United States government apparently shot nukes at this dome to try and break it, but it sent the nukes back in time to before Earth became Earth, and in doing so, it shot a different planet that then turned it into a planet called. It was like a weird name. It was like, I think, like it was just the letter K, like 6 times in a row. And Johnny Storm does have a relationship with like some weird bug thing. I don't like. Just pick this issue up and you'll completely understand what I'm trying to say. Because this, as usual, Fantastic Four wise, weird, but I really enjoy it. And then next one up, one of my favorite series going on at the moment, Ultimate Black Panther. Basically, Black Panther in this one gets, stabbed. He has like a trip. He can now recall, like, I don't remember what the metal is. It's like vibranium, but it's like for nature. It's not made of metal. It's more controls nature. That's the best way I can really put it. And then Black Panther can now recall that metal by just using the Force and just holding it out and then just right back into his hand, which was pretty cool, by the way, because he was out for like maybe like 2 weeks, maybe a week, something like that. Anyway, basically this issue ends with Storm and Killmonger going to find the Sorcerer Supreme. So in this series, we may see, a new Sorcerer Supreme, or we're going to see a different variation of Doctor Strange. Either way, very excited to see that. And I'll actually save this issue for last just because it's one of my favorite ones. It's actually one that I've shown in previous video. And I will put up the other issue in a bit. One of my favorite series from, I want to say maybe like 2 years ago, something like that. Like, I know I didn't read this series for like maybe like the first 6 or 7 issues that came out from the original series, but I was still picking it up just because, I was like, this looks good, I'll just get a few of them and then just binge it. And let me just say, so happy I did, just because DC versus Vampires, amazing. Issue number 1, very good at this series. Issue number 2, let me just say, we mostly follow like a couple different groups. The John Constantine group, who is trying to have negotiations with, the vampires. And then we also do follow Mr. Miracle, who apparently is a vampire, which, baffling to me, but he doesn't have the same, like, hunger as a vampire, from what it seems like. And he has a baby in this, which he's trying to take care of and stuff like that. We then go to, like, the middle/ending of the story, where we see, not Lady Shiva, Talia al Ghul talking with Alfred. Basically, Damian kind of killed the queen, who was Barbara Gordon. You guys will know that if you read, like, the original series, but Barbara Gordon got killed by Damian, or, one of Damian's, followers, who was Hush, which, pretty cool way how he went out. Literally ball of flames, and then just Barbara Gordon just on. It was just a really cool scene. Anyway, in this one, Wonder Woman's trying to, send a message to Damian. She kills Talia al Ghul, and she's about to kill Alfred, but as usual, Alfred fucking killed and slayed that shit, because Alfred's a fucking Green Lantern now, baby. Sorry for the language, but Alfred's a Green Lantern in this series, baby. He became the fucking Spectre in DCeased, which another one of my favorite stories, like, ever. And then in this one, he becomes a Green Lantern. So Alfred's just impossibly amazing in every universe, from what it seems like. Which I find it funny. He's dead in the main universe, but every other one, he's basically alive, and I think that's just so cool. Just because in Deceased, he's literally the last family of the Bat member, last member of the Bat family. Said that wrong. And in this one, other than Damian and maybe like a couple others, I don't know if they're still alive, but other than like maybe like him and a couple others, no one else. But my boy's the Green Lantern now, and that was such a cool story. And then this last one is just just a beautiful cover in general. Just Ultimates issue number 4. Really do like this one. I do like the Fantastic Four mice on the mask, and I really do like what they did with the Invisible Woman one. Just because you can't see her on this, but you can see her shadow. I thought that was a very, very cool detail. But anyway, this is kind of the origin of the new Doctor Doom, Reed Richards of the new Ultimate Universe. And let me just say, this book, just such a beautiful thing, because it gives like the origin of, how he became Doom. Basically, they went into outer space, and then, they were supposed to get their powers, but they went later in time, so all they got was just radiation, and that was very bad for a couple of them. So basically, Johnny Storm just instantly dies. Like, he catches on fire, and he does not, become the Human Torch. He just gets caught on fire and then dies. It then goes to the Thing, I believe, who tragically killed himself because of it, just because, he basically became, like, shunned by the whole community and everything like that for, basically breaking in, trying to, do a space shuttle launch, and then it went horribly wrong, killed a minor, because Johnny Storm was only a teenager at the time when he got his powers. The Invisible Woman tragically dies from, I want to say cancer, just because, she's in a hospital bed, and if I remember correctly, she was bald, and then Reed's basically the last one left. Nothing happens to him up until the Maker gets to him, and the Maker basically just puts it in his head that you are Doom, you are not Reed Richards, you are Doom. And then that's basically how that happens. And then at the end of the story, where he's talking to Iron Lad, that version of Iron Man, Iron Lad is basically talking to him about, hey, leave the time travel thing behind, we're done with it. And then Reed's like, no, I have to, get it perfect, because he's trying to fix his mistake. Because, if he had not become Doctor Doom, or, if they have left earlier, they would be the Fantastic Four, not, this. And, like, the mice on the cover do have something to do with the series, too. Basically, the mice, he's trying to recreate it, seeing if he can get it perfect. And it's not working because all the mice do die eventually. But let me just say, this issue, one of my favorites. Like you guys did see that I bought this cover, like, when it came out. And let me just say, it's so good, dude. Like, the Ultimates issue number 4, definitely fantastic. Just anything Ultimates related is just amazing so far. I mean, not so much Ultimate X-Men, just because I'm not a big fan of manga, whatever it's called. But anyway, sorry for that long-ass tangent. And sorry for that. If you guys did enjoy this video, leave a comment down below. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do apologize for rambling quite a bit about all these books, but, it's been this was a very good stack to read. Like, all of this stuff is just pretty decent stuff so far. I mean, the one that definitely probably was the most boring, in my opinion, was definitely the Captain America one, just because it's kind of really wordy. Like, not in a bad way, but, for me, I'm more like action, not so much words on pages. That's just me personally. But yeah. Anyway, I've been on a tangent for way too long. I do apologize. So if you guys did like this video, like, comment, subscribe. And, leave a comment down below telling me which book is your favorite at the moment, like which, you know, more current one. Like for me, it's definitely like the Ultimates so far. Really enjoying that series. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.